Sony and Microsoft are both jockeying for position right now. When it comes to where they stand in this whole console business, both of them want more content to put out. We are done with console wars, quote unquote, the traditional way that we see them. And in fact, console sales might be pretty close going forward between Xbox and PlayStation. And even when it comes to Nintendo Switch, they're doing incredibly well just doing their own thing. So when it comes down to Microsoft and Sony, they're more similar in what they go after and who they target in terms of trying to get their money. Now, we have some incredible news, and there was an article that came out, and I want to get into this article because it's suggesting that Sony is going to go after a huge corporation like EA. In fact, it lists EA as opposed to smaller ones in order to get back at Microsoft. Now, how much validity does this have? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit. We all know that Microsoft went all out with their Activision Blizzard buyout. They also went all out with their buyout of Bethesda slash ZeniMax Studios. Now, Sony obviously has had some kind of meeting since then. We've heard rumors that there's been some emergency meetings behind the scenes, and with Microsoft likely making Call of Duty console exclusive after the 3-game deal is up with PlayStation, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, Sony's going to need some stuff to maybe, kind of shake things up on their own front. But I do want to get into this because this is going to be a video that a lot of people are going to want to see. It's a topic you don't want to miss. It's a hot topic for sure. And it's one that I know a lot of people are definitely excited for. Hey, I'm Crap Gamer, and this, of course, is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some changes around here, but hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like, and maybe even possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It means the world. And again, if you are looking for a way to support my channel, a like is all I ask. It really helps get the content seen, and it really just helps make me excited to do more content, right? So if you guys didn't know, that is definitely the best way to go about it, and I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you for all the great things that you do, and all the amazing things that you say. It's just fantastic to hear so many people are enjoying the content lately, and I'm so thankful for that. So thank you guys very much for rocking out with me and just being amazing people. Now, when it comes down to Microsoft and Sony and buyouts and all this kind of stuff, it's crazy, right? So according to this new article, which is obviously going to be linked here, listen, Sony is going to go after something. But according to the TechSpot article, it says Sony could respond to Microsoft's acquisition of Activision by purchasing EA. Ubisoft and Take-Two could also be targets. Bottom line, the gaming landscape has been shaken to its core, and we're not even a full month into 2022. More details and more deals could be in the pipeline, but regulators' response to Microsoft's buyout of Activision Blizzard will likely play a big role in determining when or if they happen. Take-Two Interactive got things going with its $12.7 billion acquisition of Zynga, but it was Microsoft that really stirred the pot with its $68.7 billion offer to purchase Activision Blizzard. Now, regarding the Microsoft deal, many have questioned how Sony and others might respond. Analysts at Ender's Analysis believe that if Sony wants to hop aboard the merger and acquisition bandwagon, its best bet might be a buyout of Electronic Arts, with a current market cap of around $37 billion. However, it'd be far more affordable for Sony to go after lower value targets like Take-Two or Ubisoft, which are valued at $18.33 billion and $6.9 billion respectively. Although I want to point out that the Take-Two market cap is pre-Zynga buyout, which was over $12 billion. So, you add those two together and you're looking at $30 billion, and you might as well go after EA as far as I'm concerned. But it's very interesting to see how this kind of looks to a lot of these analysts and these firms and things like that. MKM Partners analyst Eric Handler, meanwhile, seems to think Disney might be interested in a run at EA. A great way for Disney to build upon its digital future and for Bob Chapek to step outside Bob Iger's shadow would be to buy EA. Other players have also emerged as of late that could make a serious run in the gaming industry, such as Netflix CEO Craig Peters, he recently said that the streaming giant was focused on creating games based on franchises it already owns, like Stranger Things, but was also open to the possibility of licensing large game IP that people would recognize. While it's still very early days for Microsoft's buyout of Activision Blizzard, regulators could get involved, and that might dictate how other big companies decide to proceed. But it does look like this thing is going to go through, and obviously a lot of people are of the sort of idea that Sony is going to have to respond in a big way. Listen, we are in this weird world of video games right now where everything is changing, and so much is reliant on the content. And people really need to kind of understand where that's coming from. At the end of the day, it really, really just kind of makes sense for Sony to go out there and make a big splash. Now, listen, if you want to play ball, then you play ball, right? And I think that is something that, Sony could definitely do. What would be the pros of buying out a company like EA? Well, depending on how it works out, you might have the only NFL football game or simulation NFL football game in existence, and that you could maybe possibly make that exclusive to your platform, assuming that there's no sort of hang up there with the NFL licensing and things like that. Outside of that, you also basically maybe kind of run a monopoly on sports like hockey, which I think they only have the only hockey game, and they don't have a baseball game anymore, but Sony already has the show, which is obviously multi-platform now, but also I guess FIFA. But then Sony would also own stuff like Respawn Entertainment, who obviously do like Titanfall and owns Apex Legends. So Sony would have a big game of their own to combat Warzone, which Apex Legends is very, very well regarded and very well looked at as well. So what would be the negatives of it? I mean, obviously you just don't want to see all of these companies bought up this way and, kind of leaving the other people out. I think that's the part that kind of is scary, in my opinion. You don't want that to happen. You don't want, gamers to kind of be forced to choose. Like, I don't know, like for me personally, it's like stuff that's already out there and already well known as multiplats for a decade plus. It doesn't matter who it is. I just feel like that's wrong. I don't know, it just feels wrong to me. But I do understand it. Honestly, it just depends on who you are. But I do think that Sony's going to respond. Are they going to get EA? I would highly doubt that they get EA, to be quite honest with you. But I do think that they're going to do some smaller things. But don't ever doubt that they don't have the money to pick up an EA, right? They could. There's tons of stuff. They're Sony themselves are marketed at PlayStation themselves at almost $200 billion. So they have plenty of money. They could always get loaned. They could always do whatever they wanted to stay into things, because they have such a great thing going with PlayStation and the PlayStation brand. So, it is exciting to see the future of gaming. I just question what that's going to be, but I do know that we are definitely into the content stages where the content is the most important thing. With that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down below. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.